everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Pam and today's video is going to be all the books I want to reread in 2021. So again, this year I want to reread some of my favorite books, so this is what this video is all about. So I started this in 2019. I started rereading one of my favorite books and annotating them with, tabbing them with some tabs, and I did it again in 2020 and I wanted to do it again in 2021. It's a really fun experience. I really recommend this to anyone. It's really fun. So I made a selection of 12 books that I would like to reread in the new year. So let's get started. So the first book is a book that I didn't have the chance to read in 2020, and that is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. So the first time that I've read that book was in 2016. So it's been a while, okay? I wanted to reread it this year in 2020, but I landed into one of my best friends in January, and COVID happened. She still has some of my books, and one of them is The Book Thief, so I will reread it whenever I will get it back. So maybe it's gonna be my last reread of 2021, who knows, because we don't know how and when I'm gonna be able to see my friends. So this story is one of my favorite. We're following a young girl in Nazis Germany, and it's a historical fiction set in World War II, but the narrator is actually death, so it's really interesting because of that. I remember this book just being moving, and just the beautiful writing, and just beautiful story too, and I really want to reread it. So this is the first. Next is another book that is really close to my heart, and I could say it's my favorite book of all time. It's gonna be my fourth time rereading this book, and that is A Monster Cult by Patrick Ness. The first time that I've read that book was in 2017. I read it in one sitting, straight up, cried my eyes out. This was absolutely beautiful. In this story we're following a young boy who gets visited by a monster each night. He tells him some stories, and it's about grief, and it's so beautiful. The second time that I reread it was in 2018. So I listened to the audiobook. The audiobook is narrated by Jason Isaacs, who plays Lucius Malfoy in the Harry Potter franchise movies, and he's a great narrator. I really enjoyed the audiobook. Cried again. The third time that I read that book was in 2019. I read it to tabbed it, so every blue little tab is sad moments where I cried. So yeah, it's a really emotional book for me, and really important book too. And I didn't reread it in 2020, so I really want to reread it in 2021. I would like this to be just a tradition of me reading it every year, in whatever format, either audiobook or physical. I just love this book so much, and I want to reread it, so that's the only reason. Next is a book series that just got a new book added to it, and that is the Legend series by Mary Lou, with Legend, Prodigy, and Champion. So the first time that I read that series, it was in 2015. So it's been a while, guys. What? And this is a dystopian that I remember really enjoying it. but I can't for the love of everything remember what happened in those books. I can't. It's been too long. And I really want to reread it because I really want to read Rebel, which is the 4th book that just came out like not too long ago. It came out in 2020. And but yeah, I need to reread the series before I do read the next one, Rebel. So yeah, and I'm really intrigued also to see if I'm still gonna like it as well as I did like in 2015, or if I'm gonna be disappointed in it, or if I'm gonna understand more stuff, because in 2015 my English was not perfect. Obviously, my first language is French, so English is my second language, and in 2015 it was the beginning of me reading in English for like kind of the first time for fun. I did write in English at school, in high school, but for straight up just fun, it was the first year that I really started reading in English. So did I really understand everything I was reading? I don't think so. I'm not as skilled as I am right now, so yeah, I'm really intrigued about my reread for this one. Next is a nonfiction that I've read in this year, that I've read in 2020, and I really want to reread it to underline and just to do a study of it, like I'm doing right now with How to Be an Anti-Racist by Ibram X. Kendi. I really want to do it for Eating Animals by Jonathan Safran Foer. This is about a subject that is really close to my heart. This is about the animal eating industry, and just vegetarianism. There's some books like that. There's some words like that in English it's just like really hard for me to say because they're so similar to in French. So vegetarism and veganism. Yeah, it's about that, and I really want to do a study of that book and just to, highlight, write in it, and after that lending on to my friends so they can add their own thoughts into it. I just want this book to be like my Bible for vegetarianism. So yeah, that's why I want to reread it. Next is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. I've read that one first in 2019, before pre-COVID, a year exactly before like the COVID outbreak happened here in Quebec. It was in March 2019. So maybe it would be fun for me to read it in March 2021, exactly 1 year after the outbreak of COVID. I think that would be like a really interesting video. Maybe let me know in the comments. I'm sorry if the lighting changed. I didn't have any memory left on my phone, so yes. As I was saying, this book is about the pandemic, and that killed basically 99% of the population. So yeah, so I don't know how or if I'm gonna have the mental capacities to go through that book. But we'll see. But like I said, I think it would be interesting to read it in March. But we'll see if my mental health is okay with it. But yeah, this is one that I would like to reread. The first time that I read it in 2019, I really did enjoy it. So next is a book series, and it's the Illuminati Files by Amy Kaufman and Jack Kristoff. So we have Illuminati, Gemina, and Obsidio. So I first read Illuminati and Gemina in 2017, and I read Obsidio in 2018 when it came out. like the same year it came out. This is a series with mixed media through it. It's so fun to read, and it's about a planet that get invaded by this corporation, and we're following two characters who are trying to get out of this planet safe and sound. We're also following two other characters in Gemini and two other characters in Obsidio, and also in Obsidio everyone is like getting together, kind of. I loved reading that book series. Yes, they're big, but because they're told in mixed media, you get, like, I got through it like so quickly. Something that I would really love to do in 2021 for my reread is to listen to the audiobooks at the same time that I'm reading them, because I heard the audiobooks are incredible. They're full cast audiobooks, and yeah, I heard they're like amazing. So I really want to read the books, yes, physically, because it's so much fun with all the mixed media thing, but also I really want to experience the audiobooks. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's my plan. But I'm so excited for this, to reread this series, like so excited. And finally, the last two books are by the same author, and they are I'll Give You the Sun and The Sky is Everywhere by Jen D. Nelson. I really want to reread those two because I remember really loving it when I first read them. I read both of them in 2018, and yeah, I remember loving them, especially I'll Give You the Sun. I gave it a 5 out of 5 star. The Sky is Everywhere, I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 star, I think. I really enjoyed them. But yes, I do remember the stuff that happened. I know I'll Give You the Sun, we're following twins in two different timelines. So in the first one, we're following the young boy when both of the twins are like younger, and they're still talking. But we're following the girl twins later when they're older and when they're not talking. So it's kind of like their story and how they came to like talking to not talking. And it's coming of age story. I think it talks also about mental illness, and I remember great things, but yeah, I really want to reread it. And The Sky is Everywhere, we're following a young girl that lost her sister. Her sister died, and it's about grief, and I love books about grief. So I really want to reread this one too. So this is it, guys. This is my list of books that I want to reread in 2021. Let me know in the comments if you plan on rereading some books this year for the new year, and tell me which one you're super excited to reread, as I would like to know. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!